What is up, guys? It is Joe Caruso here with another trade breakdown video. Now, this is going to be a trade breakdown of a US30 sell signal that I had given out last week in the Trader Society Academy Discord. Now, this was a trade that actually took about 2 days to play out. We got in on, it was Wednesday originally. Price had dropped about 200 points or so, and then climbed back up to essentially the way I had let everybody, um, the way I let everybody know what to do is we prepared for the break even on Wednesday, and it did happen. And then Thursday morning, I gave the 35-100 entry, which is where I also entered. And I let everybody know exactly what I was doing. Even on the day before, I let everyone know my two stacking entries, 35,000 entry number one, 35,100 was entry number two. Now you could have actually held both of them. What I did was took the first one, it broke even the next day. Then we entered at that best possible position right after news had come out as well that morning. And this news actually supported sells on US30, so it really helped just push it in our favor. NYSE Open happened, and it just launched the other, launched it down to the 350 point take profit. Overall, this trade was a little over a 1-to-3 risk to reward. So let's hop on the weekly time frame. Now, those of you who were in TSA know that I called the 34,100 buy. So that actually played out to be a total of 900 points. Now, that move itself had a bunch of confluences where it was supported on the weekly time frame. Weekly resistance turned into support. There was a trend line retest. I was actually a crisscross on the weekly time frame. The 2-day, I may as well just go through both of these trades as well and show you exactly what I was looking at. This is why we pushed so hard off that area. So I'll leave that trend line that I already have up, but this was the trend line up the lows that I was talking about to essentially make a crisscross at a 2-day hidden divergence with the 50 moving average at a level of weekly resistance turned into support. Now, that is not all. That was also, let me double check the fib. 786 if we fibbed from the previous high or low. If we went one leg back in the move, it was a 0.5 fib level. So whether you use the closest higher low or even went to one higher low back in the trend, both of those were a fib level. So this was certainly a fib level, crisscross, 2-day hidden divergence, weekly resistance turn support. Weekly was also bullish, right? It just made a higher high on the weekly time frame as well. So buys were actually ideal at that point. Now the 12-hour had a shark fin at the 200 moving average. Sorry, shark fin turned divergence at the 200 moving average. This trade lined up very well. 34,100 was the exact entry that I called out in the Discord. That would be right here at this line, this green line, which is why I left it there. You could see it originally started to play off, and Jackson Hole on Friday was this big wick in which we saw price came up, came down, and completely took off after that. So this overall played out great. The trade idea that I called out for the buy, I believe, was a 1-to-3 or a 1-to-3.5, as the TP was, I want to say, it was either at the 50 moving average or it was slightly higher. I want to say it was about a 400 point move with the stop loss being 100, 150 points, roughly a 1-to-3. Yeah, it made sense to get out at the 50 moving average just so that's the safest spot going against you where market could turn around. Now, for this trade idea, these were called week to week, right? I called one the previous week, and then I called the sell the week after. Now, this sell, I'll go from the daily time frame and work my way down. Daily time frame, it was a level of support turned into resistance. So if we were bearish, this is where market would drop from. That was my mindset going into this trade. As we rose, I figured we had to give that weekly some time to play out. And also the daily, because our daily was a shark fin off that low. So as market was rising, if we were going to drop, where were we going to drop from? That really has to be the conversation that you have to have with yourself. And although the 50 on the daily tried to hold up, we saw that that area, when it hit the 50, came and made a new low. It popped right back up, but the TDI just didn't look great at this area, which is why I didn't consider the sell at the daily 50. Really didn't line up nearly as good as this perfect 618 fib level. Trend line crisscross, daily support turned into resistance, and now we'll go through the time frames and I'll show you exactly what I look for. I really don't like to enter a trade, and most likely don't anymore, if a 4-hour or if a lower time frame like a 4-hour, 1 hour does not line up perfectly with a daily or a weekly chart. I need to have confluence on multiple time frames, on at least, like I said, at least a daily or weekly, and then several lower time frames. So this area, you can see strong daily support. We're looking to turn into resistance since we had that nice big drop. Market hadn't pulled back to this area. So that was the confluence on the higher time frames. Our 4-hour was a 4-hour shark fin divergence. Shark fin happened here at the 0.5 fib level. We were waiting from that point because I called the trade, I want to say on Tuesday or Monday. I actually called it out quite a bit in advance. So we got that divergence at the 200 MA. Price came back, wicked up, and gave us that perfect entry on Thursday. Not only both trades, we took on the TSA live session both those days, and I called them both out in the Discord and guided everybody to the take profit. When I say guided, I mean we got in this. We talked about it on the live session. We were in it together. I guided every step of the way. I guided on where the entry is, where the stop loss was. I guided where I would stack if it went against me. I let everyone know at what point was I moving my stop loss to break even, at what point would I take partials, and at what point would I take full profit. And I do that for every single trade that we call in TSA. So once we got into this trade, I'm going to get rid of the fib now that we know that it was a perfect 618. And I kid you not, 35,100 was the entry. It came as high as, I think, 120. So there's about 20 points of drawdown max. Let's start keeping our Bollinger Bands up. Our 1 hour was giving us, our 1 hour shark fin happened here. Price came higher, TDI went lower. So we had our 1 hour shark fin divergence. On both days, it was actually present. Valid divergence because the 50 MA was not hit. The 1 hour 50 MA was the point in which we moved our stop loss to break even. And I said, if you wanted to take partials, you could. I did not take partials there, but I still let everybody know. I always guide on what to do, and then I also let everyone know exactly what I'm doing. When you start to get shark fin hidden divergence against you, yes, protect your position every single time you want to do that. 30-minute was a shark fin at the entry. 15-minute was shark fin divergence at that entry. Actually, both entries on both days were 15-minute shark fins. Pretty crazy. When your lower time frame lines up with your higher time frame and it's going in the direction or at an area that makes sense on the daily or weekly, that trade is going to play out almost every single time. And I just want to take a peek at that 5-minute. Our 5-minute was also shark fin turned divergence. So combination of shark fin and divergence on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour at a level which, when you look at the daily or weekly, let me just take these bands off. When you look at the daily or weekly, that area made sense. The trend lines made sense. The fib level made sense. So that's the confluence that you want for every trade that you take. And there's no reason to take a trade unless everything lines up perfectly. So I hope you guys enjoy these trade breakdown videos. I'm going to be doing more trade breakdown videos on YouTube on a regular basis, and I also am going to start a couple mini series, specifically one on prop firms, again another one probably on trading psychology, since that is what most people are asking for. So there will be plenty more videos like this. Stick around, make sure you like the video, comment on any suggestions that you have or ideas for future videos, and make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching.